Zion Williamson is going to do some phenomenal things to end this highlight. You just kind of got to stay tuned. But don't rush it. His Pelicans were hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. First things first, let me show you Zion early. He goes glass. Pelicans trail by 2. Other end we go, DAngelo Russell, another lefty that could get a bucket. We're tied up. Second quarter. Anthony Edwards, he's not a left-handed guy, but he's going left and using his right. He's just good. Left hand, right hand, whatever hand you need him to. Edwards, chest to chest, man to man. It's what you put in the gym versus what Anthony Edwards did, and I like his chances. Speaking of gym work, Zion going baseline and leaving with a bucket. Pelicans down by 3. About Nas Reed lining it up and knocking it down, getting a couple extra minutes with Karl Anthony Towns still out of the lineup for Minnesota. Zion's in the lineup for the Pelicans, and he goes right at Rudy Gobert, and he throws it down with authority. Pelicans in a dogfight with the T-Wolves. CJ McCollum, a tough deuce, 2 of his 20. Zion with the pass. Murphy with the 3. We got a tie basketball game here, people, with 2 teams that are looking to cement themselves as the newcomers in the Western Conference. CJ McCollum's been around the block a couple times. That 3-pointer goes. He had 20. He gives the Pelicans the lead. Rudy Gobert will respond. That spin move in the score puts the T-Wolves back out in front. And then how about D'Lo with the score? Back and forth we go until Zion says enough of that. He's going to score the final 13 points for the Pelicans. That dude ties his game up at 116. And then how about the defense from the big fella? The steal and the dunk got it rocking in New Orleans as he puts the Pelicans up by a deuce. Anthony Edwards gets a chance to respond, and he does. 2 of his 27 points were tied at 118. Pelicans go to Zion, and he gets fouled. That was a questionable call to me. I thought Rudy Gobert went vertically. Zion would make the first and miss the second. Tying out Minnesota. Pelicans are up a point. T-Wolves get a chance to win with just 3 seconds to go. Edwards gets a look at the buzzer. It is no good. And how about Zion? A career-high 43 points on 14 of 21 from the field. 33 second-half points. I already mentioned to you that he scored the final 13 points of the game. And New Orleans steals this one at home by 1. Well, not everybody was happy with Zion's success. Obviously, the Timberwolves were not happy. DAngelo Russell after the game had some interesting comments about Zion. He said, he just ran through my guy, took the ball. He's playing football. We're playing basketball. We can't touch him or guard him. So good for him. DAngelo Russell clearly believes Zion is the beneficiary of a couple of calls in basketball games. You know what I thought about as soon as I heard those comments from Russell? I'm going to take y'all to a place real quick with Pharaoh. Don't mind me. I'm a very interesting guy, by the way. A lot of people ask me how did I get through my childhood, why I'm a little different from a lot of people that you might associate me with, like with just being. A lot of people would just label me a typical guy from Memphis, right? But I'm not. I'm different. And I learned that at an early age. One of the things that I always had working in my favor was my mind, my critical decision making. I did some dumb stuff in my past. I'm not even going to lie to you about that. But I always had this up here. And when I was doing dumb stuff, I knew it was dumb. Right now, whether I wanted to do it or not to be cool, that's here or there. One of the things I've always had the ability to do is read people. Every now and then I get it wrong, but I do read people for a living. Me and a lot of my close friends, we used to read a lot of the people that we went to school with, have fun with them without them knowing, all that type of stuff. So I developed this trait to like read people. I'm always reading people. My wife hates it because I'm always reading her. I can literally finish her sentences for her oftentimes. I'm giving y'all some deep dive stuff right now. Tell y'all how it is. I can finish her sentences. I'm in tune with her. I know when she's about to move this way, that I'm in tune. I get really sick with this stuff and cynical. Hell, half the time I'm predicting what my dog's gonna do next. Like, I'm cynical with this stuff here. And I bring that up for a reason. Oftentimes, I can feel when somebody has talked about me when I wasn't around. When I go up to shake somebody's hand, and say hello to a person, whether it's an old friend, old colleague, a family member, or whomever, I can always feel when that person has talked about me when I wasn't in the room. I've always had this innate feeling. I don't care who it is. I can always feel it. I can feel it in the handshake. I can feel it in the way that they say hello to me, what up to me, what up, bruh. I can feel it I can always feel it in the hey, in the handshake or the hug. It's weird. I can feel it in the grasp, the grip. I can feel the lack of authenticity in that hello. I always know when I've been the talking point when I wasn't around, when somebody's just been talking about me. When I want to, and look, people talk about it, but people all the time, right? I ain't tripping, but I can always feel when somebody then went in on me when I wasn't around. That don't mean I'm gonna say nothing about it, but I just know in the back of my mind, I know. Those comments that DAngelo Russell made about Zion didn't just stem from that game. You can feel it. He's been talking about Zion when he ain't been around. Now, obviously, they play basketball together. You got to guard this guy. Obviously, they watch film, right? Like, you get why he's talking about him, but I think it's a little deeper than that. That comment was so specific. You can tell D-Lo, and I'm sure other people around the league, have been talking about Zion and the calls that he's getting. If I'm Zion Williamson, I look at it as a badge of honor. I wear it on my back. That's not Zion's fault that his body is so unique. The structure of it, it's unique, right? Like it's just a unique. He's not even a good rebounder. Look at his rebound stats. Like you think a guy like that, with the way he dominates in the paint on offense, he'd be able to get you 8 to 10 defensive rebounds a game. That's not the case. He doesn't average 10 boards a game, I don't think. Zion is a special trait where he can bulldoze you right past you. And that's going to work as long as his body will allow. Shaquille O'Neal was a matchup nightmare. He was 7'1" with athleticism that we really hadn't seen at that position. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a matchup nightmare. He's 6'10", 6'11", with the strength of Shaquille O'Neal and the hunger of somebody that's still homeless. LeBron James was 6'9" with the ability to dribble, the strength combination, and that Magic Johnson passing ability. We ain't never seen that. These guys that have these unique traits, they're going to get a lot of fouls called in their favor because the NBA, the refs, they're adjusting to something we ain't seen before. That's a badge of honor, what DAngelo Russell said about Zion and what I'm sure he'd be talking about behind the scenes with teammates and other guys around the league. That man said he's out there playing football while we playing basketball. I always know when somebody's been talking about me when I ain't been in the room.